I've held many different positions here at WKZO, but in 2001, 10 years ago, September 11th, I was doing what I do now in the morning. I was working with Lori, but on weeks or days when the afternoon host would be away, I would leave the morning show and work in the afternoon, and that was one of those weeks. So I was at home in the morning, but I had the radio on and I was listening, and I heard them start to talk about a plane hitting the World Trade Center. So it made sense to turn the television on and try and get a visual. And while I was doing that, the phone rang, and it was the folks here at the station asking for some guidance about what to do. And while we were talking on the phone, a plane went across the screen like that. And of course, I don't know what I was watching, but whatever network that was zoomed out, and you saw the second plane hit. And that was the moment that a lot of us across the country realized this is not an accident. This is something that's deliberate.
Also getting reports of some type of new terrorist activity in Afghanistan this morning. In fact, why don't we return to CBS now and get the latest on that, and we'll update your cancellations in just a moment. WKZO time 6:06.
Our immediate reaction was to go to the network, go to CBS, and let it run, because they're covering it better than we can here in Kalamazoo. So what was a station that had bits of world and national news became a station that had nothing but national news.
We'll continue to carry WKZO and CBS News long-form coverage all evening and the overnight as well here on AM 590 WKZO.
Local officials started to talk a little bit about what emergency response is like here, and were we in any danger here? What was the protocol when things like this happen in other places? So when we saw that plane go across the screen, we made the decision to go to the network. I think I was here within an hour or less, and was here until about 10 o'clock at night, I think, on that night. And then I went home, and I remember not being able to sleep without the television on for about a week or so, just because I wanted to be able to open my eyes and know immediately what the latest was. Was there more? Was it still going on? Of course, by 10 o'clock at night it was over, but we didn't really know that for sure. I do recall wanting to be able to open my eyes and see immediately what the latest was by reading a crawl at the bottom of CNN screen or something like that, and then have the radio nearby so I could be hearing what we were continuing to do. It was an unusual day. I think it certainly is one of my most memorable. I mean, I wasn't there, I wasn't close to it, I didn't have relatives in New York City or in the Pentagon, and so, I can't relate to it like those folks can, but I think it certainly was one of our biggest news days, and we had some decisions to make about programming, and we didn't air a commercial for 4 days, and that was extremely unusual in this business where that's our bread and butter. So we were making decisions like that, and so it was really odd kind of decisions that had to be made, and very unusual, thankfully.
It's situations like this that make us, even here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, say to ourselves, what information do we need to get out there first?
I was watching a special with President Bush, who has not talked about this until an interview recently, and he talked about what he was going through, and everybody saw that footage where Andrew Card whispers in his ear that country's under attack, and he's in that classroom, and his expression changes, and he made a decision to stay there, and he talks about that. And imagine being that person. Imagine being the President of the United States when this is happening, and some of the people making those decisions. Those were the people who were really in chaos and trying to sort out how they would handle this. I don't think we were anything close to that. We were just trying to get the right information to the right people. But looking back on it, I need to see some of that again to put me back there.